Hello, welcome to China Economic Spotlight. According to the mainland Chinese media outlet Dahe Bao, on July 7, Huang Deyi, a villager from Zhenlin Village, Taonan City, Jilin Province, built a floating bridge in 2014 at a cost of 130,000 yuan, using 13 iron boats. Ironically, this act of goodwill brought them imprisonment. In December 2019, except for a 5-year-old child and the children attending school, the entire family of 18 people was sentenced to 2 years in prison with a 2-year probation period by the Taonan City Court. The news quickly became a hot topic. The incident sparked widespread public anger, with internet users saying, in ancient times, those who built bridges were remembered for eternity, while today those who build bridges end up in prison. The traditional Chinese society values the act of building roads and bridges for the convenience of the villagers. The gentlemen of the countryside used to contribute to the establishment of schools and education, which were considered benevolent acts that benefited the people. However, nowadays, self-funded bridge construction is regarded by the government as criminal behavior that harms society, leading to the imprisonment of entire families. Looking back at history, we find that this kind of thing is not uncommon in the current regime. Taking the Republican era as an example, a Sichuanese named Lu Wenkai personally funded bridge and road construction and established the prestigious Wenkai Middle School with an investment of 250 million yuan, equivalent to over $2 million at the time. He was hailed as a great benefactor by the local people. However, during the Cultural Revolution in the 1960s, Lu Wenkai was labeled as a big landlord by the authorities and became one of the 4 major reactionary landlords opposing the socialist state of China. In 1978, faced with a disastrous economy, the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, was forced to implement economic reforms. GDP became the government's primary goal, and the persecution of human rights shifted from being public to underground. With the relaxation of economic regulations and the influx of foreign funds and technology, supported by the diligent work of the Chinese people, the Chinese economy miraculously rose to become the world's second largest, and the legitimacy of CCP's rule was accepted by the people, who believed that the CCP had the ability to manage the economy well. There is a saying in the CCP officialdom, if you want to get rich, build roads. Engaging in large-scale infrastructure projects and using investment to stimulate the economy has been the consistent strategy of the CCP to pursue GDP growth. The so-called high-speed economic growth in China over the past 20 years has been mainly driven by investment demand. In 2013, investment accounted for 76% of GDP, making China the country with the highest investment to GDP ratio in the world. Why has investment become the growth model for the Chinese economy? Firstly, by engaging in investment and construction, local GDP grows rapidly. With roads being built every year and houses being demolished and rebuilt, GDP increases, and local officials gain political capital for promotion. Secondly, officials profit greatly from infrastructure projects. Many school buildings collapsed during the 2008 Wenchuan earthquake, which means that more than half of the funds allocated for constructing schools were embezzled by government officials. This led to the phenomenon of substandard construction projects. According to a report from China News Service, the deck of the Buda Bridge in Buda Town, Babu District, Hezhou City, Guangxi, collapsed suddenly on the evening of February 19 this year. The bridge started construction at the end of 2009, with an investment of 14.33 million yuan, and was completed and opened to traffic in 2015. However, it collapsed in less than 8 years. When Huang Deyi, the villager from Jilin, built the bridge and charged a toll fee, the local court accused him of provocation and causing trouble. However, Huang Deyi and the villagers argued that the toll fee was not mandatory but voluntary, and it was only used to compensate for the construction cost of 130,000 yuan. Nevertheless, the local government forcibly ordered Huang Deyi to dismantle the floating bridge and later sentenced his entire family. Huang Deyi is dissatisfied with the verdict and has appealed, stating, "Before the bridge was built, 22 people drowned, and after the bridge was demolished, over 10 people drowned. Who is responsible?" Recently, Professor Luo Xiang, a renowned legal scholar, posted a video on Bilibili, saying that voluntary payment by passers-by does not fall under the criminal offense of provocation and causing trouble. The offense is applicable only when there is compulsory collection of fees and appropriation of public and private property. In a viral online video, a farmer in Hunan was self-funding well digging for irrigation, but agricultural management officials came to demand the installation of water meters and payment of fees. When the government did not contribute financially or physically to the well digging, the officials appeared demanding money after the farmers had paid for the wells themselves. In Shanghai County, Jinan City, Shandong Province, the village committee informed the villagers several years ago that they would have to pay fees for using a tributary of the Yellow River, with a standard rate of 100 yuan per person per year. Internet users sarcastically criticized, the severity of tyranny exceeds that of tigers. It is worth noting that the charge of provocation and causing trouble has been frequently used in recent years by the CCP as a catch-all offense to persecute dissidents. Labeling the 18 villagers who self-funded the construction of the floating bridge as provocation and causing trouble carries strong political coercion. Concerns from the outside world grow as the CCP is shaping a tense political atmosphere amid economic decline. That concludes this episode. If you enjoyed our China Economic Spotlight, please continue to follow us. Thank you, everyone.